Howdy ho, Arkansas Pilgrim here again. Yeah, bad lighting, but hey, that's just the way it is. It's the direction I'm walking. Coming out here to my tractor. Let's just go this way, and then I can have bad lighting in a different way, and you can actually see me. Tractor's been sitting here. Where is it? There, do you see it? It's actually been sitting out here a couple weeks. Having fuel problems again. I'd cleaned out the gas tank, but it turns out I didn't clean it out good enough, and I'm going to need to replace the gas tank. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do online for the last couple weeks. But anyway, well, here, I'll switch over, see if we can. There we have it. I think, I'd cleaned out this gas tank before, and still getting some crud out of it. It's down under here. There's, I don't know if you can see it there. Yeah, there it is. There's the fuel bowl. It kept getting crud in the bottom. It didn't seem to catch anything in the screen, so I thought things were okay. But I think the carb has gotten clogged up. And turns out, even though I had cleaned it out as good as I can, look at that rust and stuff that's up on the top. There's no way to access to spray the top. I used a pressure washer and got everything else, but there's no way to get to it and get everything on the top. So it's just like, this just needs to be replaced. And I think these are $300 or $400, and they're also kind of a pain to deal with. Because if you saw one of my other videos talking about it, this water neck right here hits, it gets in the way when you're putting it on. And well, I thought, maybe I could replace it with just use a big plastic gas can, But then, I could drill a hole in it and put a bulkhead fitting in it, and then a hose fitting and attach it. This is just a simple gravity-fed tank. It would be simple. But then, I'd have to strap it up on top there and run the hood. And it would, I got no problem with redneck and stuff, but I didn't want to redneck this. If I had to, I would do it, but I don't have to. So I decided to go ahead and try to find a plastic tank that was shaped like this, a flat tank rather than a big, gas can. Went online, found some. Most of the ones I found were metal tanks for generators, replacement flat tanks for generators, 7-gallon tanks. This is like 12 gallons, I think. But hey, that's okay. But all these different places sell this same metal tank, and it's unlined inside, so it could rust too. I just didn't want to go that way. And I found a couple, actually, to be honest with you, only one actual plastic generator replacement, fuel tank. And I actually ended up getting scammed on it from the place I got it because it was a little cheaper than I expected. And, the short version of that is I ended up getting my money back, but I had to wait a while because they had phonied it up and made it look like they were actually delivering it. And I didn't want to end up with 2 tanks by going and buying another one, even though I'd already reported it as a scam. And blah, blah, blah. I finally got the money back, and now I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead and order the tank from somebody else. But then I thought, hey, wait a minute. I don't really need to do that. I already have a generator fuel tank already. It's on my generator. And I don't mind rednecking this up. So what I'm going to be doing is taking my fuel tank off of here and setting up some new brackets inside in the tractor and use it. So what I'm going to do is use a container I got. There's the cap for it. Now, this is not an approved container for transporting gasoline, but it's basically the same kind of container as it's made of the same stuff. And it was, it was $20 instead of $45. So I'm going to take this off, set up some other brackets for this, and I've already drilled. I don't know if you can see it in there. Yeah, you can see there we go. You can see I drilled a hole in the plug. This actually comes with like a spout you can attach. And I put in a 1/4 inch hose barb fitting to be able to attach the fuel to. And yeah, I didn't show you doing that because I didn't think about filming this until after I was already finished. And hey, I'm going to show you the rest of the process now of how I'm going to redneck the generator and only, hidden redneck the tractor. Okay, first thing I need to do is empty the fuel out of this tank. There's a little bit left in there from when I was fixing the culvert. And that's normally not quite the right size. Must be metric. Anyway, just undo this. It's probably going to make a little bit of a mess, but hey, darn everything I do does. Well, I don't want to break that valve. There we go. Yes. Well, gas is leaking out, but it's not coming off. Should have got a pair of pliers to pull it off with, but I didn't. There we go. Yeah, it's just going to take a while, and I should have got something to set this up on too. I should have done a lot of things. There you go. It's right in front of my face all the time. I could have used that. So I'm just going to let that drain, then we'll move on. All right. Now we got 4 bolts there. I assume they're metric. I bought this at Horrible Fright, which, yeah, I know. Some of you are going to say, what'd you do that for? But actually, this has been a good generator. They don't sell it anymore, though. Maybe that's why. It's actually made by McCulloch, which, of course, I don't know. That used to, they used to be an American company, but then again, who knows? But yeah, this is either half inch or 13 millimeter. Either one works. But so I gotta undo these bolts. Probably should have got my impact driver so I can do it quickly. Hey, what a concept! Oh well. Still think old-fashioned somehow. Just grab a socket. Oops, there we go. All right, there's one. Just got 3 more. All right, got all the bolts off. And here's a hint. I mean, I guess I call it a hint. Whenever I work on stuff, I always put these back together because it makes it a lot easier to keep track of them so you don't lose them. Because if you do drop it, at least it's a big chunk of something and you don't lose the individual pieces. So I always do this. I'm just going to stick these in my pocket now. Okay, it's off. Here we go. Let's see. go. And okay, we've got these here and that. Okay, this has a little heat protector thing. Oh yeah, because the exhaust of the engine is right there. So I'll probably just. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Probably end up. Well, we'll see. It's work it as I go. Probably end up putting this actually just over there, and probably put something as a shield underneath there. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Took a little while because I had to gather pieces and go see what I had. And yeah, by the way, that's one thing about redneck and stuff together is you generally, use what you have, do what you can with what you have, where you are. Hey, that's the theme of this channel. But to do that, you don't necessarily have exactly what you need, or you just go and, it's something you got to sift through stuff. So these projects end up taking longer. Well, what I've found, and I knew I had it there someplace, this is a piece of cement backer board, like for tile, and I figure that'll protect against the heat. And even then, it was only protected on that one small spot directly above there, so it'll be fine. I also had to find, it's not quite long enough to bolt in, so I'm going to have to connect it to these bars, and a few other things going. I got some weather stripping to put underneath this because this vibrates a lot, so I want to kind of cushion it a little. Then I had to get bolts and screws and everything. So yeah, now I'm ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and use the original bolts and bolt these back down and then go from there. Okay, let's go. Probably going to regret filming this whole thing because it's going to make editing a nightmare, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe I'll just leave it as it is and speed the whole thing up. Now, the weakness in this setup, in the plan here, or I guess I could call it a plan, was how am I going to refill this gas can? I mean, the opening's down here. It's going to have a hose runs from here down to the intake, or to the fuel line. Have to be able to disconnect the hose and tilt it up and refill it. Well, I didn't really have a good idea for that, but I went down to my local pipe supply place, and I didn't think they were going to have it, but he did. He has all kinds of odd stuff. This is rural Arkansas. It's a 1/8 pipe union, so it will come apart. So, and I mean, he said that he didn't even realize they had these. They had a spot for brass ones. I would have got brass if I could. But with the gas, I don't think we're going to have a rust problem. I got a brass nipple, and I'm going to replace the little hose spigot there with this brass, put this on, and then put this here, and I'll be able to disconnect the hose, refill, and reconnect the hose. At least I think I will. Oh yeah, because I'm going to have a valve on it too. So there we go. Now, discovered another weak spot, and then sounded like I had actually planned it from the beginning there, but I thought of it right when I said it. Anyway, let's go.